What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Lambo Plays podcast, episode number 60, UFC 289. I am joined by my co-host, Timothy Troiano. I'm out here in Vegas. I'm still doing shows as much as I can. But yeah, Tim, are you ready for UFC 289?
Hells to the yeah, man. Got my favorite fighter fighting this week. So let's rock it out.
Tim sounds he's not very enthusiastic today. I don't know what's going on, but
Oh man, I'm into it, dude. I'm into it. Let's get it rocking.
Yeah, guys, if my internet fucking gives out on me, I will try to come back, but I will always go to my chat first of all. Thank you for all being here. Mushroom is in the house. Let's fucking go. Yes, sir. Daz is in the house. Thank you, Daz, for always joining us. Tim Obernan, Saki. No Saki today. No Saki. Jacob Lovejoy. Thank you for being here. Victor, what is up, my man? OV 740 Locks, Tim and Narco, two of the sharpest guys in the game. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Addicted to Combat. Happy pay-per-view Eve, gentlemen. Hope you're winning piles of cash out there in Las Vegas, Narco. Not winning a pile, but I'm up a small bit. So it's always good to be up right now, early in the trip. Dixon Sider says, "What's up, Tim?" Shafiq says, "Let's get it." What's up, Dixon? Andre, the dynamic duo. Thank you, my friend. George Gennaro, the best prop show in town. Thank you for being here, Narrative Nation. Eric Albright says, Chiefs fan, but love the Steelers setup, sir. So he's giving you some props there. Stephen Cunningham, what is up, Goats? Thank you, my man. Mr. D, what is up? Tim Oberon says, beard look absolutely bearded. Thank you, my man. Goes to the library, love plays that cash where I don't have to play 500 USD a month. Saint Steven, let's go, my man. Thank you for being in here. Double flush. Alan Oranti, William Tyner, and Sean Orr. Let's fucking go straight from Vegas. And let's start it off here, Tim. I don't have all day. I need to go eat. I'm going to the great place that is it's actually Japanese barbecue, and it's a phenomenal place. I'm going to go there tonight. But with that being said, let's start off this card in the strawweight division. It is the 14-7 Daina Velveeta versus the 13-6 Maria Oliveira. And I always seem to give you the best fights to start the card. So here you go again. What do you have here for your Lambo play, Tim?
This is the Jurgens Lotion. This fight is sponsored by Jurgens Lotion. It will be a fantastic bout for however long it lasts. I hope it lasts all 15 minutes to have Jurgens really get all of their sponsorship used. I don't know, man. I think that Velveeta is a more well-rounded fighter than Maria. I think that they both are kind of defensively irresponsible striking as well as irresponsible on the ground. So I don't think that this fight's going to be very much grappling. If it is, I think it's from the Velveeta side, but I really don't think very much you're going to be grappling. But I do think Velveeta's volume, they're both just volume spammers. So I just end split seems to be a good spot. I think if you took a shot, I think the line on Velveeta by KO is pretty wide too. I don't think it happens, but plus 950 is pretty wide for seeing as Maria Oliveira got dropped in her last fight versus, I think it was versus Demopoulos. And she got T-Rex arms and had to hit up on her. So I just think that that's not a good look for Oliveira in the long run. But yeah, probably an end split on this one. And it probably, in my opinion, is plus 350. It's kind of shitty, but I think it's going to go the Canadians route. So, you know, if you want to take us plus 700 on Velveeta by split or the plus 350 on end split.
All right. For me, actually, I really like the Velveeta KO, man. Plus 950 on FanDuel. I have it. It's a tracked play. You know what I noticed from Velveeta is, man, she is very freaking aggressive, man. In every one of her fights, she comes out throwing. She likes to throw elbows in the clinch. She has nice knees. I mean, she has a Muay Thai background. And Silva, we see on the feet, like she's hittable. She's like a noodle. We just saw her get dropped. She basically gave up in the fight against what was it, Contender Series or whatever the heck it was, where she gave up against Marina Rodriguez in the first round, and honestly, this girl cracks, man. Like I'm not saying she has big power in her hands. She just spans a lot of volume, and she just seems to hit decently hard. And but the thing is, she's very aggressive, and I think if she if there's a point where she even hurts Oliveira at all, like she goes for it, and she's gonna just like try to go for elbows, whatever she can do in the clinch, she's gonna do. And 950, I just feel like is a little bit too wide because Oliveira just seems like very noodly, man. I don't know. Like you said, she got knocked down in that fight, in her last fight. And I just see like if she gets knocked down by Demopoulos, then I totally can see like Velveeta finishing her if she knocks her down, you know? So yeah, 950 just too wide there. I like that. I like the price there. I know it's women's MMA. I'm not fucking touching this fight other than that. That's it. That's my only bet of this fight. Barry says, Mike, go to Barry's at Circa. Was there last night. Great spot. It's that's downtown, man. I'm too far and just got so much shit going on that I don't have time right now. Devin, thank you very much for the $5 dono. Really appreciate it. Appreciate you. Thanks very much, Devin. Big Steve in the house, Narco with the haircut level up. Actually, I did got a haircut like a week and a half ago, but appreciate it, my man. George says, did Marie even train for this fight? Give me that Diana KO. I don't know. Did she train? Why is he saying that? Do you know anything?
No idea.
Oh, okay. What is up? Fresh Gambles is in the hizzy. All right, let's move on. Fight number 2. It is in the flyweight division. It is the 20-5 David Dvorak versus the 9-1 Steve Erceg. And I will kick this one off. I like Erceg in general, man. I like the guy. I like his striking. I like his grappling. I like his heart. I like his cardio. I like his durability. There's a lot of things I like with the guy. The one thing I don't like, he's very, very hittable on the feet. He tends to get clocked. He gets hit a lot on the feet, but he's tough as nails, man. Like some of these fights that I'm watching, he's getting clocked. Obviously, it's lower level. The Cody Haddon in specific fight, like he gets rocked a couple of times there, and Haddon is throwing big punches. And Haddon seems to be like a good prospect. I like watching him, he seems to be pretty good. But like Erceg, like he's just tough. He's durable. He's got good cardio. He keeps coming. He can grapple. He's a very good grappler, and his striking is not bad at all. And he's got a good all around game. And on the opposite side, I kind of feel like the same thing. Like Dvorak is kind of good everywhere, but not great anywhere. And I just feel like, first of all, this money line I feel like is off. Second of all, I think this fight probably hits the scorecards because I feel like both guys are very durable, tough. And Erceg decision is sitting there at plus 500. I don't know if he's going to be able to finish Dvorak because Dvorak is super tough. But I can't see him winning a decision. He throws a lot of volume, man. I think he's going to have the volume edge here against Dvorak. And grappling, I think, is very close here. I don't think Dvorak has some like huge edge. Submission grappling is probably on Erceg's side. So, Erceg's going to be the much bigger, longer guy here. Yeah, decision on Erceg's plus 500. I think is a tad bit off here. So that's what I'm going to give here.
Yeah, I mean, his split decision is 16-1. I think that's a good shot if you're playing that as well on DraftKings. Yeah, I mean, I don't really know in this fight. I kind of am on the Dvorak side just from it's more narrative on. I think Erceg's solid, but I just think that having to travel on really, really short notice from Australia, anywhere, just like in general, having to travel that far is not going to be easy. And I think that there is like a possibility to have some kind of jet lag and stuff like that. So, I mean, I think Dvorak, like you're saying, I think both these guys are really durable. So I was going back and forth on if I thought Dvorak would finish him later, which is definitely part of my thought process, or if I thought, like you're saying, maybe the fight is a little bit closer than it's lined. So if you're going end split, I just kind of like late round props for Dvorak or an end split on this one. I don't really have a good feel on this fight. I don't really know them going to be betting this fight, but yeah. What would you say on that? Do you like the end split on this one?
I mean, it could happen. Yeah, I think it's a close fight. And split could happen. I just, plus 500, I'm just going to go on the one side and give that decision. But yeah, and split, I think it's a very close. Honestly, the line I think is completely off. I don't think this line's accurate. I think it would be fair to have Dvorak, I don't know, minus 200. But 270, 295, man, I think that's completely off. For a guy like David Dvorak, who to me is not really a big finisher, doesn't really have a lot of power in his hands. Like he shouldn't have, like, where is he so much better than Erceg? Like where? I don't know anywhere. I don't think he's better than him anywhere, maybe.
I think he's better. I think he's better striking, but
I don't think so. I think the better striker is Erceg. Honestly, I really do. I think he's the better striker. Defensively, he's not very good, but offensively, I think he's the better striker than Dvorak. I don't think Dvorak is a good striker, to be honest. When he's faced good strikers, he's getting dropped. He's going toe to toe with Jordan Espinoza for fucking 3 rounds, for Christ's sake. So I don't know, man. I like Erceg as a prospect in general. I think he's good. The one thing that you said is jet lag. I know everybody's been saying this all week, but how about Dvorak? It's not like he's training in Europe too. He's got to fly in here.
But when did he fly in? Like when did he come in? It's different time. Yeah.
I don't know when he flown. I saw his Instagram like a week ago. He was wherever in wherever he trains in Europe. So it's not like he's a local guy though. So he's got to fly in as well. So I don't know. I mean, people are making too big of a deal with this jet lag, in my opinion. Well, like when did Erceg come in? Last week? This week?
Probably this week.
Yeah, I mean, he's got probably 5-6 days, whatever. I don't know. I don't think it's that big of a deal. And this is really, technically not a late notice fight because he was supposed to fight like, what was it? A week ago, 2 weeks ago? And the fight got canceled. So he was training. Like Erceg's been training. So, yeah, I like the Erceg side. Erceg decision plus 500 is what.
Yeah, I'll stick with the end split on that plus 450. And if the side it's only one side if you're going to pick a side to go on.
Tim, 1 second. Is it Tim's mic that's scratchy like that, or is that my speakers? I don't know. Can someone let me know in chat if it's his mic or is it my speakers that are like scratchy like that? Maybe it's my speakers. I don't know. I'm on the laptop, so. All right. With that being said, let's move on. Fight number 3. It is in the featherweight division. It is the 8-0-1 Blake Bilder versus the 13-5-1 Kyle Nelson. What do you like here, Tim?
I think it's a good spot for Bilder to live bet him after Nelson has a moment in the first round or has any success in the first round. He's front load. Nelson's pretty front loaded generally. Not really that great of a fighter. He's going to be in Canada, but he's kind of hated. So I don't think like the crowd is going to be a big factor in this situation. So build around 2, build around 3 after Nelson gasses, and I'll probably be looking to bet Bilder live.
What do you like? Sorry.
Bilder round 2, round 3, and I'll be looking to bet him live.
All right, Bilder round 2, round 3. Yeah, I can't disagree with that, man. So what happened is I kind of like researched this more and more because the lines are so low, right? Round 2 is like whatever, 500 or something.
Awful.
In round 3, huh?
They're awful. Yeah, plus 700.
They're awful. So I researched and did some research, and you can get better lines by doing this. If you look, DraftKings has Bilder KO3 at 2,800, okay? And then Bilder submission 3, 1,200. When you look at those two prices, and you break it down, like as far as round 3, you're getting a better price if you bet those two separately than just betting round 3. So you could do that, and then you could do the similar thing to round 2. Search for better prices where, with the parlay of the prop, the round, and the type of how it ends, and then you're gonna find better lines. And that's what I did because these lines suck, dude. But yeah, I like Builder round 2, round 3. He tends to come on later in fights. He honestly gives up round 1 a lot in his fights, a lot. Like I don't like how he looks in round 1.
Yeah, he's a
Um, he
fake.
was kind of he was kind of cucking in the last fight in round 1, and then I think he dropped or he did something to Young where he stole the round, but he was sucking early on, and he seems to suck a lot in his fights early on because he gets dropped a lot in these regional fights. He's been dropped many times. Carvalho dropped him. Buenafente dropped him. He doesn't look good early in these fights, but he seems to come on later, and he is fucking put together as hell. So he's on something, dude. This guy is ripped, shredded to the teeth. So yeah, if you take Nelson round 1 KO, like I wouldn't blame you. But I will say Nelson lately at 45, he's been going with a grapple heavy game plan, man. He really is. He's just literally going for grappling. So he's kind of changed it up. And I see it at 45 because last 2 fights, even though he didn't get a takedown against Herbert, he went for so many takedowns against Jai and cage push and shit like that. So I think he probably implements the same game plan here. I don't know if it's going to work against Builder, but yeah, Builder round 2, round 3, use those KOs and subs and shit like that. And hopefully we hit a big one there. Moving on, fight number 4 is in the bantamweight division. It is the 9-2 Ayman Zahabi versus the 24-9 Orichi Lang. For me, this one here, I think is a close fight, man. I think it's going to stay on the feet. I think if anybody has a grappling edge, it might be Zahabi, but not by much. I know he's supposedly a black belt. I don't know. I don't think he's that good on the ground, but I think he's a good striker. And I think he has a very nice uppercut. I think he has decent footwork. Good kicking game, good overall striking game. And those guys up there in TriStar usually are good strikers. Not a lot of volume, but Orichi Lang he cracks, man. I mean, the guy can crack, and obviously 35 is much better for him than 25. He's at fight ready. I like that. But Zahabi seems to be pretty durable. Like the one time he got knocked out, I mean, it was a spinning elbow, whatever. He seems to be pretty durable. I just feel like this is a 15-minute kickboxing match, and it's gonna be close, dude. I really believe this fight is gonna be close, and split decision is 400 either way. So give me split decision here.
Yep. Not to add any more to what you said. I'd be leaning on the Aori side on it just from volume. He does a little bit more. He hits a little bit harder on the decision, but I'm with you. And split plus 400. The only thing I would want to hash out with you, I talked with Sean about this a little bit. Like, do you have any interest in Zahabi sub at 12-1?
No.
Okay. Yeah, he said the same thing.
Not because of anything. I just like, for me, Zahabi, I understand he's a black belt. First of all, I don't think he's a good wrestler at all. And then second of all, I think Orichi Lang, like his takedown defense is not the worst, right? I know he got taken down. He's been taken down a bunch, but it's like Cody Durden has good wrestling, he's going to take him down. And like he has way better wrestling than Zahabi does, So, and then the thing is, Orichi Lang, like, he's been pretty good when he's been. I mean, Cody Durden had him down 5 times, and he got right back up. So it's like I don't really see it from Zahabi. Like, when you look at Zahabi's career, right, historically, doesn't really land takedowns. He doesn't even really go for takedowns, dude. And he's landed 1 in his UFC career in 5 fights. Like, I don't know. I don't see it. Not a good wrestler, like I said. He likes to stand up. He's a stand-up guy. And those TriStar guys are 99% stand-up guys, So
yeah, I thought that there's a chance that like and it's not a lot. It's not I don't have a huge amount of confidence in it. It's like I just kind of feel like there might be a back take situation if he gets if he does take him down, or if he does have like a standing back take position and like even pulls him down and like even if he holds position for a round and wins a round by control and doing that, I think that it might justify a small stab at the 12-1. Plus, just he hasn't shown, like you said, he showed well against Durden in that fight, but I don't feel like from what I remember, I don't think that he was put in like you're saying, he got up well enough and he wasn't really put in many bad predicaments against him. But that could be like you're saying, it's just he didn't get those positions.
Yeah, like if Durden doesn't get him and he's like a way better wrestler, like is Zahabi gonna get him? Like I don't think so.
I agree.
And not to mention, he's at fight ready, man. Like they're probably training wrestling, like training all these submission stuff. Like I don't know. I don't think it happens here. I don't even think it comes close to happening, even to be honest. So I don't know. Maybe somehow it happens. I don't see it from Zahabi, honestly. I think he's just gonna stand. He's the more technical shaker, to be honest. Like he's got better technical skills. He just doesn't throw a lot of volume. Moving on. Fight number 5. It is in the flyweight division. It is the 8-2 Jasmine Jasudavicius versus the 11-4 Miranda Maverick. Kick this one off, Tim.
I think there are two good plays, two good lines on this fight that I'm considering betting. The first is if you're on the Jasmine side, which I'm not. I think Maverick rolls here. There's a lot of love for Jasmine this week, and I'm of the side where I think like if she wins a split decision and it's greasy as shit, and she does very little and has some top position and stuff like that, maybe a little ground and pound, but she's up to it. Like her win condition is cage push, takedown, and hope that she can hold her down and hope that Maverick plays guard and doesn't do enough. So I don't think the striking on Jasmine's very good. I don't think the striking on Miranda is very good, but I think it's better than Jasmine's. I like the subs on Maverick and FanDuel at plus 420. I think she's stronger. I think she's going to have positions on the ground. And wrestlers are great. Like this is like a classic, like last night with Mov Lead in PFL. It's like, give me the sub all day in fighters where you got a great grappler who's dangerous on the ground versus a wrestler who's actually going to be on his back, not a wrestler who's going to be on top. So it's like if you get a wrestler that's on their back, you're going to get positions on them. If they're not great jiu-jitsu wise, which I'm pretty sure that Jasmine's not that great jiu-jitsu wise. And she's definitely not, in my opinion, as good as Maverick. And I don't feel that she's stronger than her. So I feel like there's going to be opportunities for a sub, and plus 420 on Maverick by sub, I think is a good shot.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with you. I think Jasmine just is not strong enough here. She needs to get the fight to the ground. Usually she likes to get the fight to the ground, and I just don't see it happening against Miranda. On the feet, like I kind of favor Jasudavicius somehow because she's a little bit like longer and stuff. She's gonna be the longer girl here. She's gonna throw kicks, stuff like that. And I really don't like Maverick striking after watching her. I also kind of like her wrestling is like, it just feels like it's all through strength. It's not really like good double legs. Her timing is good. That's what I like about her. Like the one thing with Miranda is what I see in a lot of her fights is she lets her opponents kind of pressure her. And then the minute they're throwing, she shoots. And that's how she lands takedowns. And they're good. And Jasudavicius throws a lot of kicks, and Maverick can probably catch the kicks and get her down that way as well. I just think she's so much stronger than her. If this fight hits the ground, she's so much stronger than her. And feel like she's going to get to advantageous positions and then maybe land like vicious ground and pound and then have this girl like, because Jasudavicius is very tough. I don't think she's going to give up. She might give up her back. And that's how I think Maverick might get a sub. So I also like the submission here. It's 440 on Bet Rivers. Not my favorite play, to be honest. I think this fight might hit the scorecards. Both girls are very tough. I did have an early bet on Maverick, but I hedged out, man, Tim. I hedged out because I I don't know. It's just something I saw on tape that I didn't like with the striking, and I feel like it might be a little closer than what this line indicates. So I hedged out a nice portion of it. I still have some portion in there, but obviously I got a way better line than what it is now. And at this price right now, I think it's dog or pass. I wouldn't be advocating to lay 300, something with Miranda Maverick. Moving on, fight number 6, middleweight division, 12-4, Nasruddin Imavov versus the 30-10 Chris Curtis, who's been fighting often here. For me here, another fight, man. I kind of feel like this fight is going to be close, but the difference here is I think the size is going to matter, man. I think Chris Curtis is going to have trouble here getting in the pocket. I think Imavov is going to use his kicking game very well here. I don't think he's going to grapple. I don't think he's going to have success grappling even. I just think he's going to kick him. He's going to stay at distance, jab him. All the things that Chris Curtis is not really good with. You know, Chris Curtis wants you to be in the pocket so he can counter you and throw his T-Rex arms and try to knock you out. And I don't think Imavov is going to give it to him. There's just nothing I really love as far as props on this thing. I'm going to just go with Imavov by decision, which is a used Toyota Corolla play. It's like plus 180. It's probably one of the lowest plays I've ever given out. But I honestly, I think he just dominates the striking, man, from range. And Curtis just doesn't throw enough. He'll pressure, but not throw a lot of volume. Imavov will just kick him to death. And I just kind of see a boring fight, to be honest. And Imavov decision plus 180.
Don't hate it. That's the pick. I mean, that would be my pick of what I think is going to happen. So I kind of, I'll go with you on that. And I think ends like classic end split. I just think like there's a couple of moments, but I don't disagree with you that I lean more Imavov by points and just utter frustration of Chris Curtis if he's intelligent to go out with a game plan and watch just any tape on the guy and watch the fucking Hermanson fight. Just it's not super complicated in what you got to do. Move your feet, kick him, stay at range, jab him, and get the fuck out of the pocket. And he's too small for this division. And I agree with everything you said there. I think end split isn't horrible, and Imavov by points would be kind of like the same thing. I kind of lean that it's gonna be unanimous, but hoping that some judge is blind.
Yeah, I mean you could use end split. I just the last one with Gastelum, I could see a split there, but Gastelum needs to get in the pocket as well, and that's why he gave Chris Curtis can excel there.
There's a possibility that Imavov is stupid in this fight, though. I don't think that I don't think that he's like guaranteed to fight with a good game plan. I think it would be obviously advantageous to him to do so, but I'm not for sure that he goes out with that plan.
He's fairly well against Buckley, and then somehow gassed later in the fight. But
he's a kind of inconsistent performer.
Yeah. Moving on, fight number 7. It's in the middleweight division. It is the 15-7 Eric Anders versus the 15-6 Marc-Andre Barriault. What do you have here, Tim?
Let's keep the train rolling. I got called out for my lack of ends by split decision props by George at Narrative Nation this last week. So I'm going back to the well, man. I hear the crowd. I hear you guys. No, I do think that these fights are genuinely really close fights, and this fight's interesting just from you have some different ways that this fight could end split. I think there's obvious volume and weaponized cardio on the Marc-Andre Barriault side. Eric is going to be the more powerful fighter. He's going to be definitely the better grappler. And I kind of agree with Dixon Sider. I kind of think that Anders by split decision would be my way to go if I was going to pick a side. But I think that the reason why I wouldn't bet it is because I think that there's definitely possibility that he's going to get robbed by the crowd on this one and or decision. This is the kind of fight where I feel like the crowd will definitely be more into it, and Barriault, instead of like Kyle Nelson or guys like that just don't do enough, like his fighting style will get the crowd more into it, and also the judges might think he's actually doing stuff if hitting him in his arms and just spamming some volume. So Anders just doesn't do a lot volume-wise enough to say I'd be like confident to bet him by split and that he's going to win it. But I think my pick of who would win the fight is going to be Anders. But I really could see some robbery here if this fight goes, and I would not be shocked at a end split going Marc-Andre Barriault's way. So I'll play it safe and I'll go ends by split. But I think this fight's really interesting, and I can't wait to see how it goes about and how much Anders actually tries to proactively grapple and get him down to the ground, because that's shown to be pretty weak, in my opinion, on Barriault's side. And I don't think that like the guys that he's been fighting that have taken him down recently and clinched him didn't have like as good a cardio as Anders does. I don't think he's got great cardio, but I think he's got better cardio than the guys that had success in round one, grappling and really cage pushing and taking down Marc-Andre Barriault. So yeah, I think really, closer fight, would lean Anders on the win, but I'll take a ends by split on this one. Plus, I think 500.
Okay, so I'm a little confused because Dixon Sider says Anders rolling with monsters in Philly.
Yeah,
now?
he's in.
Is that
He's
where...
in. Yeah, he's in. He's with like Petrosky and like Gracie Philly.
Oh, so he left Fight Ready?
Yeah.
Why is that? Does anybody know?
I think they said it was management. It was like nothing personal. I think there was something political, maybe, or management wise.
Well, I already don't like that, and I didn't know that, and I don't like that because I think what Fight Ready did for him is maximize his win equity in fights, because they told him, hey, listen, get in good shape, get your cardio up, and fucking wrestle your ass off. I know last fight he didn't wrestle against Daukaus. It's because he was just having the better of the striking. He was tagging Daukaus left and right, robbling him every single time. So he's like, oh, I don't really need to fucking, I don't really need to wrestle. But when you see Jung Young Park fight and he's going for 24 fucking takedowns in one fight, like, and we know Marc-Andre Barriault's takedown defense is honestly not very good. He gets taken down. Yeah, he can get up, but he just gets taken down a lot. I do see Anders as a stronger guy of the two here in the clinch. Like, I do see him landing takedowns if he goes for them. His fight just feels like a very close fight. Split decision is 450. But you gave that, Tim. Now that I know he's not in Fight Ready anymore, I'm going to play something else, because I do think Barriault's going to make him work. I do think Barriault's going to have better cardio. And I do think Barriault...
Uh-oh. You just went out for a little bit. Your sound's up. Nope. Why don't you come back? Anybody got any questions for the panel here? We'll take them now. We'll wait. We'll wait a minute. Stand by. How about that Bubba Jenkins, guys, for the culture? You bet Bubba by sub last night, Narco? Dixon Cider, exactly. In the meantime, press that like button, subscribe if you have not done so already. You there? Yeah, Dixon, Hamlet not finishing that guy and having 12 minutes on his back was I didn't have any inside the distance, but for people who did, that's got to be pain. I cannot. Yeah, Pineda. No, sir. Not at all. Yeah. And you're not muted on the sign either, so. Maybe leave the studio, come back, or no? Can you do that? We'll have to maybe do sign language for this the rest of the way through. Guys, what do you think? You think he's going to come back with round 3? I think he's going to come back with round 3, Marc-Andre Barriault or Barriault by split or points here. But that's what I'm kind of leaning, knowing him. We'll see. Pineda, that flying knee, George. Holy shit. Let me tell you what, my thing on fighters is if you pay them $1 million, that's usually the kiss of death for fighters. So that's, that was a Lofnane winning $1 million, coming out talking so much shit. Yeah, I think that's always a kiss of death when these guys get a ton of money, and then what the fuck do they have to fight for? How do they have to train for? Underestimation of opponent is magnified times 10. So yeah, I think that's what happened in that fight. But got 7. Dixon says we got 7 decisions this card, 3 to 4 finishes. Yeah, it might be around there. Yeah. Obviously, some MMA, you never know, but I think that like that Velveeta by KO is kind of really an interesting bet as well. That fight, everybody thinks that fight's going, but plus 950 for her by KO. I think I'm going to take a small stab at that as well. So we'll move on. Narco will hopefully come on through. What we're going to do is I got the 4th fight coming in. We got Nate the Train Landwehr taking on Dan 50K Ige. And this fight's going to be a banger. It's one of the most exciting fights I'm excited for this week. Nate's just never in dull fights, and he always brings it. Dan Ige's got some serious power in his hands. Also, underrated grappler. Good jiu-jitsu. I really feel like there's some, I feel like there's going to be violence in this fight, and I feel like the Ige sub is actually free after say Nate sub again. I'm not on the Nate sub. I feel like Dan's really tough. I mean, he's impossible to finish so far. He hasn't been finished yet, but I feel like he's just defensively very responsible, and he's tough to sub. He's been fighting really good grapplers, and they're getting him down, but they're not subbing him. They're putting him in some positions. They're not subbing him. He's tough to knock out. It's tough to hit really, really hard. I kind of feel like KO1, KO2 for Ige, but at the same time, I also feel like sub for Ige is super live. Like club and sub is live. A club and then a panic shot sub is live. When Ige first came into the UFC, he was like known just as much or more for his grappling than his striking. And then he started bonking guys and loves his hands now. So I think that I think it's plus 950 on Ige sub, but I'll take that, and I'll take the KO1 is plus 420, KO2 is plus 800. I think those are all pretty solid lines, and I really feel like Ige is just the more defensively responsible fighter, so I think that he'll get the job done. Going on to the Malott, Mike Malott versus Adam Fugitt. So kind of think that this is a really this is my boy, man. Mike Mallett's been a fucking cash cow for me. I really feel like this is a interesting line. Everybody looks for every opportunity to fade Malott. Understandably, I feel like there are holes in his game, or there are question marks that you don't know because he hasn't fought that many times and he takes so long in between his fights. And then when he has been beyond, one round, it's too short of a sample size, in my opinion, to just judge him as like, this guy's got no cardio, he's got no fight. Look at how he reacted in these situations. But I'm leaning. I've got some. A guy I worked with last year is the brother of Mike's girlfriend, so I have a little bit of inside information on what he thinks is going to go on here. So it's typically the case. I think that the KO1, KO2 for Mike is the way that I would go in this one. I think that sub is always live with him because his front choke series is nasty, and he actually coaches BJJ. And I just feel like he's really, really solid at finishing. His instincts finishing are just rock solid. And anything that sets up, he won't really, he'll take whatever's there, really, honestly. But I feel like he feels like the striking is going to be a better edge for him in this fight. So I'll take the KO1 plus 460, KO2 plus 1000. Seeing some people in the chat. What's up, Wheezy? Seeing you in there. I feel like those are the plays, and there's definitely. I wouldn't be shocked if everybody's on round one with this. I wouldn't be shocked if it's round two. Just Fugitt's been pretty durable, and I feel like it took, I think, 3 rounds for Mike Morales to get him out. And I don't know, man. I think that's a huge sign to be able to last with that dude. That dude's a fucking beast. And so I wouldn't be shocked if it's a round 2 and that Malott maybe shows that he's, not death gassing in round 2, and he can be quite dangerous there as well. So I wouldn't be like quick to run to just only play round 1 props on him here. I would definitely be hedging and playing both rounds, at least round 1 and round 2. If he gets him in round 3, I'll lose my bet, but at least I'll know he's got cardio for the next fight. All right, now we go to the fight of the night. Favorite fighter of all time, Charles do Bronx Oliveira versus Beneil Dariush. And this fight's awesome, man. These guys have both been just such an awesome fighters to watch coming up in the last 2-3 years, just battling their asses off in top fights and just entertaining everybody. So I think it's going to be a great stylistic matchup. Both dudes are killer be killed fighters. And I'm on the Charles side. I'm extremely biased. Obviously, he's my favorite fighter. I just think like he's underrated in this fight. I just don't. I don't get. I understand Benny's fucking great. I bet Benny against Mateus Gamrot. I bet him money line. I bet him by decision. That fight's a different fight than this fight. Like I just don't like. It's always recency bias, and you just have to watch out for the shit. I just really feel like you're paying now the premium price for Beneil Dariush in a fight against Charles Oliveira, and it's like this guy got subbed by Chiesa in a bad. There you go. You guys, can you hear me again? There we go. All right. So, yeah, I think I'm not condemned. I'm all good. I think that Charles in this fight is extremely, extremely dangerous in many ways. And I feel like, where I finished off, where I think I broke off there is, Chiesa subbed him. Obviously, one of the bigger flukes is Alex Hernandez knocking him out. He's on death's door against Jakar Close. He's always like just fighting back and coming back and just getting some ass pulls. And you got to love that in a guy. I just think that all those guys that he is he's getting those finishes against and coming back against are not Charles Oliveira. And I think that he finishes the job that those guys wouldn't. And he also finishes the job that other guys did. So I don't know if it's a KO or if I don't know if it's a sub, but I think round 1, round 2 for Charles is where it's going to happen. Honestly, it's just because the number is wider on the KO, and I don't think that it should be that much wider, that I would actually take a shot on the KO for Charles being plus 550. Beneil can be hit. He can be hurt. Wouldn't be shocked by a sub at all. Wouldn't be shocked by a club and sub. Wouldn't be shocked by a reversal or an attempted takedown and then get guillotined. There's so many different ways that he can sub him. So yeah. Narco, back. Please tell me I can hear you. I cannot hear you. Please turn volume up. No. We might have to just be like, not at all. This is the problem when you go to Vegas. Can you hear me? Yeah, can't hear Narco. Yep. Take it to the Twitter Spaces is what they're saying. What do you think about that, Narco? All right. Well, back to it. So I think I would just go based on the line. I'm not super, the thing about Islam and the thing about Beneil is they're just completely different. I mean, Islam didn't necessarily smother him. Like, I feel like Islam was striking and he tried to clinch with him. And I think Charles was way more successful in the clinch and the first few takedowns against Islam. Islam and Beneil are just not the same striking. I mean, Beneil is there he can be hit, and he's, if he tries to smother him and go into the clinch and with Charles, he's going right into his wheelhouse. Like, Charles is a fucking beast in the clinch, and there's so many different things he does with his Muay Thai. Also, just the takedowns. I don't feel. Now. Yes, sir.
Son of a bitch. Sorry, guys. Fuck, man. I had to do a million things. I don't know. Sorry about that, man. I'm very sorry to everybody. Everybody's still in here. 96 of you. Thank you, man.
Yeah, dude. We did a comedy routine. I did a bunch of different things. Yeah, it was cool. It's all good.
Dude, this was pretty brutal. I'm very sorry again. But there's nothing I can do.
You're on Barriault. You got to give the Barriault, Ige, and Malott.
Yeah, Barriault round 3. I like Barriault round 3. Round 3 is like 1,500, whatever. I think it's not a bad play, honestly. I think now that this guy's not in fight ready, he just might have a different game plan. And to be honest, Anders slows down anyway. He really does. So round 3 is not bad.
That was great. You went away because we went away. I told you, I said I did a comedy routine, dude. I said when he comes back, he's going to say MAB round 3 because he went from fight ready. I know my guy. He's going
no, because historically he's been gassing Anders prior to that. He gasses, and Barriault has good gassing. So round 3
it's definitely. Don't you think it's possible though that going to, I mean, fight ready is great. There's no question that it's a great, it's shown good results for players or for fighters. But Renzo, great. There's some beasts in that. There's some beasts in that gym. He's going to be grappling. He's going to be grappling in that gym. He's going to be doing a lot of grappling in that gym. That's primarily what they do.
He did a lot of grappling before, though.
Tim. But I'm saying, he's got some good dudes to grapple with. It's not like you're going to you're dropping the level of your competition, your daily competition, that much by going there. As well as, I don't think that it's a philosophical change. In tactics is what he's doing. I don't think it's horrible. I just think I don't disagree with you that if he's changing momentum in something that was working, and that doesn't make sense. But at the same time, if it's a management thing, or I don't know. I feel like MAB is one of the more overrated. And I've bet him a bunch, and I've won money on him, and I've cashed some violence props on him. But I think he's like one of the more overrated fighters against good fighters. And like, I don't know.
But is Anders that guy though?
That's what I was about to say. I don't know that Anders is that guy. I'm not convinced that he's that guy. I don't really know that either with him. I'm not, but I definitely know that I don't think that MAB is like the real deal. I feel like he's totally gatekeeper for like not even a good gatekeeper. Like there's a tier.
He's a mediocre guy.
Like stay in the UFC gatekeeper. You know, like
he wins by outlasting his opponents. He wins via durability and cardio. That's how he wins. Is he good in a clinch? Yeah, he could throw elbows. He's pretty good in a clinch. Does he have a decent get-up game? Yes, he has a decent get-up game. But nothing else really is that good with him. Like defensively, he's not great. Offensively, he's not a very clean striker. He's just more of a meat and potatoes guy that has good cardio, good durability. And that's what wins him fights. And you could see it. You could literally see it in his record where he gets a lot of late finishes, right? He gets a lot of round 2, round 3 type finishes, grinding decisions, losing close decisions. That's just the type of guy he is. And yeah, he might not get Eric Anders out of there, but I don't think it's bad to bet a guy like Barriault in round 3, just in general, because I think he's going to keep coming. That's one thing you're going to expect from him. He's going to keep coming. And if this fight gets to round 3, I think he's going to be the fresher guy, in my opinion. He's going to be the fresher guy in round 3. And, Anders does fade. Like and Anders is 36 years old. Like he's not young either, right? So round 3 is 1,500. Again, I like the split that you're on. I bet that. But after some, discussion of where this guy went, and I don't like the fact that he's not at fight ready anymore, I'm going to go with round 3 Barriault at plus 1,500.
Yeah, home crowd for this one for Barriault at plus 800 on his split decision wouldn't be bad either.
Yeah, that too. Let's move on. Fight number 8. I have to go through these quick because I don't want this to go out again. It's in the featherweight division. There's 16-6 Dan Ige versus 17-4 Nate Landwehr. Yeah, I like Ige here. I like Ige KO here. I like Ige KO maybe round 1, round 2. That's where I see it. It's like 350 and like 700 or 800 or something. Yeah, 800. That's where I see it. I mean, he's going to be the cleaner striker. Everybody loves Nate the Train, but Nate the Train does not do well against good fighters. And Dan Ige is a very, very good fighter. So step up. It probably means a step down for Dan Ige, because when you look at who he loses to the upper echelon, man. And Nate Landwehr is nowhere near the fucking upper echelon. So Ige KO, man. Landwehr's too hittable. He's very wild. He's gonna get cracked. And fucking Ige hits very hard, man. So KO 1, KO 2 for me on Dan Ige.
Do you like sub Ige plus 950?
Not really. I mean, it could happen. I could see it. Like, he's a very good grappler, and I could see it. But man, he's one of those fucking guys that I don't know if you're going to be able to sub. Maybe just like put him out.
I think the club and sub, and I think the club panic shot is very.
Has
very
Landwehr ever been sub?
I think one time.
He's been sub once. Okay. Yeah, I see it. Mark Chirico in 2015. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know about sub. I guess maybe but maybe if he's shooting, like he gets hurt and he shoots. But then Landwehr, though, when he gets hurt, though, he doesn't shoot. He just go forward throwing bombs, though. That's the problem.
Yeah, I kind of
what do you like?
Yeah, I thought KO 1, KO 2 as well, but I did like the sub plus 950. I thought that's like I said the same ones as you, but I was just the sub 950. Just I really do feel like it's, I don't know. I think it's more live than plus 950.
All right, so we'll give you sub then.
No, I took KO 1 2. I took KO 1 2 for you guys. I think it's way more live for him there, but. Again, I wouldn't be terribly shocked on the club and sub, or
Yeah, he knows that position. Yeah, I don't think he's gonna get choked, honestly. Landwehr's he's gonna get put out like knockout wise, but I don't think you're gonna choke this guy. Like he's pretty familiar with that front choke series, and yeah. Moving on, fight number 9. It is in the welterweight division. It is the 9-1-1 Mike Malott versus 9-3 Adam Fugitt.
No, no.
You there?
You're there.
I
You're
went
good.
out. I went
Yep.
out for a bit.
Yep.
Who do you like here for Fugitt Malott?
I got Malott KO1 plus 460, KO2 plus 1,000.
Wow. I'm surprised. I'm utterly shocked here that you didn't go back to the well with your boy Malott, because I'm
No,
gonna go back to the well.
no, I said
I
Malott.
like
I
I
said
like
Malott.
Malott by submission. I like the
Okay.
submission plus 250 here. Um, Fugitt is he's okay. He's pretty good on the ground, but Malott is very, very good on the ground. And dude, like, I get the KO too as well, Tim. I just think the thing is, Fugitt's gonna grapple. He's gonna want to grapple. He's just that guy that loves to grapple, and he's gonna fuck up, and he's gonna make a mistake, and he's gonna get subbed, in my opinion. He's a decent grappler, but Malott is a very good grappler, man, and just knows how to get in those submissions. And I just think Fugitt's going to get himself caught in some type of submission, whether it be a Dars or something. He's going to get himself subbed in, and I feel like sub plus 250. I like it. I like it. I think Malott gets him here. I think this is. I know there's a lot of people that are on Fugitt, and the line's a little bit wide, but I think this is like man, they're giving him like such winnable fights, Malott, dude. They really are. And I think this is another one. So Malott submission here, plus 250. It's a used Lambo play, Tim.
Yeah, I mean sub one, sub two for him are good too because they're right around the same lines as the KO. I agree with you. He's going to take we've talked before, like I said to the chat, like his girlfriend's brother I worked with at SCORE for like a while, for a year or so. And I talked with him and we texted today and I'm just like, what do you think is, what's his initial plan, or like what is his read? And he's like, he thinks he's got a bigger advantage striking against him, but he's going to take whatever's there, obviously, because it's a fight. And I don't disagree with you, man. I think like the durability, Daz has got a good point there. The durability on Fugitt was really, really solid in a bunch of fights. He's shown good durability to be able to withstand some shots. So I don't disagree with you that I kind of almost want to change my pick, but I'm going based on the knowledge and data that I got from him that he's going to want to take that. So I'll stick with it. And but I am definitely going to probably have bets on his violence and his inside the distance props and things like that. So.
All right. Fight number 10. It is in the lightweight division. It is the 33-9 Charles Oliveira versus the 22-4-1 Beneil Dariush. I like Beneil in this fight. I think he can win multiple ways, to be honest. I think he can win by a knockout. I think he can also win by decision, to be honest. I could see a world where he takes him down, and Oliveira does Oliveira things, trying to play off his back and just loses minutes. And it's listen, you can, if you get Beneil's back like Chiesa did, he subbed him, whatever. But I don't see fucking Oliveira subbing ADCC level guy like Beneil Dariush when he's on bottom. Like, he's just not going to let you sub him, man. And I do see him just losing minutes. I think Beneil is much stronger in the clinch. I think Beneil has the much better wrestling. When I say stronger, I don't mean like better striking. I mean grappling wise. Like, he's stronger. He's just going to be wrestle him down. And Oliveira doesn't have the best takedown defense. He is dangerous on the feet. So, like, if Beneil wants the easiest path, I think he wrestles, dude. Just takes him down, stays on top, stays safe, and just ground and pound here and there. And we saw what Makhachev did to him, right? Took him down and just did what he had to do to him and eventually subbed him. Now, can Beneil sub him like that? I don't know. I don't think Beneil's, top pressure is as good as Makhachev. So I think his ground and pound is going to be there. I think he's just going to win minutes. I'm going to go Beneil decision, man. It's what is it, 400? It's in that area, I believe. Because I lost all my plays because they were on my computer. But I do think it was plus 400. Beneil by decision. Yeah, it's on DraftKings. Beneil by decision plus 400. That's how I'm gonna go here. I think this fight might hit the scorecard, surprisingly.
Yeah, I mean, I'm on the Dvorak side. He's my dude. I think he gets Beneil out in 1 or 2. Couldn't see it either way. I feel like he's super dangerous in the clinch, and if Beneil doesn't get him down instantaneously in the clinch, he's gonna do some serious damage to him. I don't know that it's gonna be super easy with like body lock takedowns, upper body takedowns from Beneil. I think he'll want to he's going to probably drop down the legs and go for a double or a single to get or even like chain it, because I just don't think upper body is going to be the way to go. It just puts him right to be collar tied and just fucked up in the clinch by Dvorak. So I kind of hope that he stays in there because it's my favorite fighter. You and I both have like our favorite fighters going on this one here. We're head to head this week on this one.
I don't think he doesn't go for upper body locks. He goes down low. He usually drops down almost all the time.
Yeah, his defensive wrestling is so. I think his defensive wrestling is better than his offensive wrestling. His offensive wrestling is good, but I think his defensive wrestling is even better. Dvorak is just so dangerous. I feel like he's going to have so many opportunities to finish in 15 minutes as opposed to 25. He never really goes 25 anyways in those fights, but just knowing that he doesn't have to go the extra 10 minutes if it were, I just think these guys are going to go crazy. And so can't wait for this fight.
Don't you think Beneil can put his lights out as well? I mean,
100%
is dropped in every fight.
100%. And he's not going to be able to use the I got knocked down or I got hit really hard, I'm going to go down and take 10 seconds to just chill out defense against Beneil, because he'll just jump on top and then do whatever he's going to do and try to hold position. So ultimately that's what got the sub versus Islam. It wasn't him positioning like the takedown and then going. It's just he knocked him down, bonked him, and then positionally got him. So
yeah.
I feel like that's definitely live for Beneil, but he's KO like totally live for both of these guys.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to the main event of the night. 108 of you in here. Thank you very much. Sorry about the technical difficulties. Please hit the like. Please subscribe to my channel. Really appreciate it. That's all I ask. And with that being said, we will move on to the main event. It is in the bantamweight division. It is the 22-5 Amanda Nunes versus the 14-6 Irene Aldana, and it is for Nunes is bantamweight championship. You can kick this one off, Tim.
Oh, I defer to you, dude. I've been starting them all off, man. Kill this shit.
All right. Honestly, I like Nunes in this spot. I think it's a smash spot for her. Listen, Irene Aldana was on her way to a loss prior to the upkick against Chiesan. And Chiesan was absolutely giving it to her on top. In that round 2 and round 3. Like, she was absolutely blasting her. There was one point there where she almost stopped her where that referee was telling her, move. Like, she was landing vicious elbows. And dude, if Chiesan is doing that to her, like, what the fuck happens if Nunes is on top there, dude? Like, she's gonna put her head through the fucking canvas. So I can't look away from that, dude. Like, Chiesan is like, okay, she's an okay fighter, but like, this is like levels and levels above, and a girl that's much stronger than Chiesan and with a lot more vicious ground and pound than Chiesan. Round 1, round 2 KO. Nunes, I think she takes her down. I think she smashes her early. I don't know what they are. I think they're like, what is it, 550, 700 or something, round 1, round 2. I'm going to look at it, but go ahead with your play. I'll let you know. I had written it down, like I said, but I lost it with computer. I had to restart. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm with you, man. I think Nunes, this is smash spot. The same things, like just the some of the grappling exchanges and wrestling, like just takedown defense from Aldana have just been really bad against fighters that are not named Amanda Nunes and not as talented as she is. The problem with betting props on Nunes fights is like betting props on Shevchenko fights. Just like, what the fuck, man? She could do anything that she wants. She could have Pena like last fight and just be on death's door and just say, no, I want to kill her for 5 rounds, and I'm going to hold her. I'm going to hold her on death's door and not push her through. So like, I feel like that's kind of like my issue with not betting this fight really, really heavily on like violence on Nunes, but I do feel like that she should murder her. So, yeah, I don't hate the Nunes by sub. I kind of think like I agree with you the ground and pound is there. Art C gave a great SGP that was 160-1. It was the same like fight that she did, same outcome or method that she did against Megan Anderson, where it was a knockdown and then she subbed her eventually. So if you do like tie on most takedowns, knockdowns, most knockdowns, Nunes, moneyline Nunes ends by sub is 160-1. So I think that's like, that's pretty cool. I mean, I think it's an easy way.
I don't mind that. I think she can knock her down and go to work on her. Yeah, I don't mind it.
Yeah, so,
and I can see her subbing her as well, but I just feel like she's gonna fucking destroy her on the ground, whatever it is. I think it comes early, honestly. I think it's round 1, round 2.
I agree with that.
I gave out KO. It's 510 and 750. But if you want to play it safe and just go round 1, it's 350 on Bet Rivers, and round 2 is 500. It looks like the best price. You can do that, but then you can also sprinkle round 1, round 2 KO if you'd like. But yeah, that's all 11 plays. Sorry about the technical difficulties, everybody. Lambo parlay. I lost mine. I had it in my notes. I'm gonna have to try to remember it. Actually, I do remember it. It is Amanda Nunes by KO, Mike Malott by submission, and Dan Ige by KO. I believe it's plus 20. It's 2,300. So it's 23-1. It's not the biggest one, but I kind of like that play there. What do you have to, Tim?
I'll do the big one. Take some shots here. Maverick sub, Malott KO, Oliveira KO, 110-1.
That's definitely a big one, my friend. Yeah, with that being said, that's everything. All 11 plays. Thank you to everybody in chat that joined us. 115 of you at one point. Thank you very much. Hit that like. And Tim, I know you have a show tomorrow with Sean. I saw it on Twitter. What time is the show? And let the people know where they can find you.
1 p.m. Central Standard Time, and then we'll be doing the full breakdown, getting everybody's favorite plays at the end of the show, Sean Orr, and on Twitter Spaces, and then be meeting up with you guys on the live Spaces again for the show for the UFC.
All right, yeah, I'm gonna have a show tomorrow, live Spaces show tomorrow, because I'm not playing tomorrow, so I took the day off to watch UFC 289. So we'll have a live Spaces tomorrow. And yeah, see you guys tomorrow. Thank you for everybody for joining us, and let's cash those fucking tickets for. Oh, one more thing before I say. I forgot one thing. One more thing. I will be putting up a link to some merchandise that I have. I have some mugs. I have some T-shirts. I have some hoodies, stuff like that. I already ordered some, so I'm gonna be wearing them out here in Vegas. But yeah, I'm gonna have some, Lambo Plays podcast stuff, a couple other things. So be on the lookout for a link if you guys want to just support that way. I will appreciate it. You guys already saw the logo and stuff like that. I put it on Twitter, but I will put the links to my shop there on Twitter. If anybody wants to support the channel and buy some gear. But yeah, guys, see you guys tomorrow. And yeah, one last thing. Let's cash those fucking tickets for UFC Vegas or UFC